You unlock the door and walk in. Before you see a long rug draping a hallway, at the end of which stands a suit of armor holding a sword pointed down. As you walk further in, the door behind you slams shut. The rug begins to move violently, rolling itself toward you from behind. Ahead, the suit of armor jumps from its pedestal and begins its approach, the sword flying out of its hands toward you. Hello everybody, and welcome to Mimic's Memory, a show where we go through the monster manual and tell you about all the creatures inside. On today's episode, Animate Objects. Located on page 19 of the monster manual, we're given a brief description of animate objects, along with the three that I just described. Created using potent magic, animate objects do not need to feed, drink, sleep, nor breathe. Having the ability to fill simple instructions, they follow the commands of their creators, some obtaining the ability to speak and even adopting personas of their own. Where do these things come from? Though using magic similar to that of animate objects, animated objects were not created just by the everyday wizard. Gon, the god of craftsmanship, created animated furniture to communicate with his followers. Other gods used animated weapons. Just about any object can be turned into an animated object, but the most typical are, of course, the animated armor, the flying sword, and rugs of smothering, usually laid out and disguised as carpets of flying. Able to see in darkness and in dim light, like other constructs, they don't need to breathe or rest to keep them alive. They're immune to the effects of the mind and such things as poison and disease. What exactly an animated object can do depends on, of course, the type of object. Most animated objects move by rocking back and forth or slithering. Of course, if the object had legs, like a suit of armor, maybe a chair or a table, it could use those legs to move around. Objects with two legs moved a little faster than humans, and those with more legs, of course, moved faster than that. Objects with wheels could roll quickly, while objects that could float could also swim. Animated ropes could climb much like a snake, and sheet-like objects clumsily fly. If used for combat, many blunt objects would just slam themselves into their opponent. Different kinds of objects had other attacks, such as a knife being able to stab or slice. For example, a sheet could wrap itself around a foe's head, effectively blinding that person. It might roll around a group and constrict them. Larger animated objects could even be used to crush enemies. Well everybody, there's not much more that can be said about animated objects. If you like this content and want to see more just like it, follow us here on YouTube, where we'll be going through the entire monster manual and so much more. Subscribe to us on TikTok and get more behind the scenes footage of what exactly we do here. Join us next week as we discuss the Anka.